Hey guys. All right, Coach. Thoughts on this weekend? First weekend, getting back at it officially.
Yeah, it was a typical first weekend of scrimmages. We had some guys do some things well, and the hitters were a little bit inconsistent. And that's normal. Hadn't seen any live pitching for some for months, and a couple others for 4 to 6 weeks. So it was good though. We got to see some young guys go out there and throw the ball well. I was impressed with our young guys, and we turned some double plays. We did some things defensively that were okay. We're still trying to find out who we are, and we got some guys banged up too. But all in all, a good first weekend of practices, and we'll go to work this week and see if we can continue to improve.
What did Madison Stokes show you? He had a pretty good offensive weekend.
He had 3 home runs, and he was pretty consistent. He played a good shortstop too, and he played good defense. He had a really good weekend, and he's got some juice, he got some power, got a lot of confidence right now in himself. He's worked it really hard. He's one of our hardest workers. And he's physically gifted to make an impact on our team. And he certainly looked good this weekend. And he's one of the leaders of our team. I think he's got to respect a lot of guys in our locker room. And hopefully he'll build upon and keep feeding on what he's done to this point. He has the makings to be a really good player for us.
Yeah, talk about that. Just how does a kid like that just continue to grow as a player, overcoming the injuries and then really evolving at the end of last season to the point now where he looks just physically more impressive than he has the entire time?
Oh, it's a lot of work. Confidence plays a huge part in it. He's a very confident kid right now, but he's also got great work ethic. I mean, he works his tail off, and he loves to play baseball. And he'll stay out here on the field all day long if you let him. And those guys can't help but continue to improve. He's got the right attitude, and he's in a good place right now. And I'm gonna try to stab his way and let him play. It's been fun watching him take batting practice. It's not just been this weekend. It's been, it's been like the last 20 days or so. He's had an impressive run for us, and even in the workouts, even in the weight room, even on the practice field. So hopefully that'll continue. He's off to a good start.
It seems like a pretty mature group of freshmen physically and on the field. Have you been pretty impressed with how quickly they've adapted? Or
yeah, Carlos had a good weekend. I mean, heck, we could be sitting up here talking about him if it wasn't for a 25-mile-an-hour wind on Friday. He would have maybe had 3 home runs, and but he swung the bat very well. But I was more impressed with his savvy defensively, turning double plays and talking to our older guys like he was in charge. And that's indicative of some of our freshmen. And our pitchers threw the ball well. Our freshman arms, Sawyer yesterday threw the ball very well. Guys that we threw out there today held their own and threw strikes. And we might not lean on them a whole heck of a lot this year. We might. There might be a few that we need big time, but it certainly makes me feel good about the future. We got some strike throwers in there that'll compete, change speeds, and get some guys out. But all in all, I'm impressed with our young guys, and I'm impressed with some of how our older guys have improved as well.
What's the most enjoyable part for you? You talked about learning the team and seeing them come together. What's the most fun for you watching a team grow and build that new team chemistry? Because every season it's a little bit different with new faces.
Right, and that's part of the joy of coaching is the journey, so to speak. I mean, we started that journey a couple weeks ago, and it really we're going downhill now that we're in team practice and we're around each other every day. That's one of the enjoyable things about coaching is watching guys improve, seeing guys physically mature, seeing guys get confident in themselves and believing in themselves. And baseball's a hard game, and it can get the best of you. But seeing some guys handle adversity the right way because they've matured and grown, and through that maturity and confidence in themselves, they've improved as players. And it's neat to see. And hopefully it won't be just a couple of individuals. Hopefully, we can collectively as a group all grow together, all mature together, and all to get where we want to be. We have a chance to be a good team, but we have to work it, we have to work extremely hard, have the right attitude every day, and strap it on every time we come down here to the practice field. And I think I got the right kind of group and right kind of guys that'll do that.
Shuffle things around at first and kind of in the outfield this weekend. Just who stood out to you, and what did you see from them?
Well, I mean, yeah, we had a lot of guys play. TJ had a great day yesterday. Played very, very well. He was a little bit under the weather and sick today, kind of gutted it out. Danny did some nice things, and he's also got to continue to improve, Danny Blair. At first base, we played a lot of guys. I was very impressed with Joey Pollock's at bats for the most part. He didn't chase pitches out of the strike zone. He's big and strong, and he has the makings to be a middle of the lineup hitter for us, and feel good about him. Hogan's, he's trying to find his way a little bit. He had a little bit of a tough weekend, but he's a good player. He's going to be fine. Jacob Olson stood out to me as an athletic guy. I can put at the top of the lineup that can run, put a good swing on it there in his last at bat. He's the type of athlete that can help you win games in the SEC. So feel good about the way that he's going to perform and his mentality and his makeup. He's a football player type guy and got a great deal of toughness about him. So those guys kind of put those guys are at the tip of my tongue as far as what I saw from the new guys and moving some guys in the outfield. So we went from having 2 outfielders to 4 or 5, you know. So, right, Whittle? So we're all right. We're in a good place. Whittle was worried about our outfield play, you know. We only had 2 true guys. Now, I think we got 3.5 now. So maybe by next week we'll have 5.
Well, you just said 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You've gone down.
I count
30
this
seconds.
thing, though. I mean, sheesh. You know, and Dixino's holding his own. But, no, we got some good kids out there. They're going to work hard, and they'll be serviceable. And, you know, I love the athleticism that Olsen brings to the table. And we know what we got in Destino. I know the type of player he is.
Leadoff hitters. You lose Gene. At what point do you start kind of evaluating who could step up in that role? And do you have 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that you like right there?
Well, you know, in each team you can do different things. I want to put TJ and Danny up there the whole fall, you know, just to get them as many bats as they can because they possess the physical skills to be leadoff type hitters. That being said, if they can't, you know, if they're a little bit too aggressive or they won't take pitches like Gene did or they don't have that leadoff mentality, we can move those guys down. Heck, I can get TJ in the middle of the order because he's got some juice and some pop. And then we'll just put one of our best hitters up there. You know, it's I don't know if we're going to have a true leadoff type approach guy like Gene. I don't know if we have that, but we could be very successful in that spot. You know, and it won't be maybe it's not a guy I give the take sign a lot to, or I just let him swing and be aggressive. And there's nothing that says you can't be aggressive in the leadoff spot. We might have that type of kid in there this year.
What did you see out of Will?
Will was fine. You know, he was wild his first inning, and you know didn't throw many strikes, and then he kind of got comfortable and was fine. His velocity was good. Typical first time out for him. He's obviously one of our better guys, and you know Madison put a good swing on it after he walked a couple, and that kind of thwarted his line, so to speak. But his second inning was very, very clean, and he's one of our best guys, and he's been extremely good in the bullpen. He just wasn't getting his own. He had a mechanical thing going on yesterday in the first inning. He crit in the second. It was fine.
Justin Rowe should be able to go next weekend.
Yeah, he'll go next week, and I think we'll be full steam. I think we'll pretty much, you know, I protected our catchers this weekend, didn't run, we didn't steal bases just because we got a couple guys banged up. Jones' knee's a little sore and Cullen's elbow, so we took it easy on our catchers, but we'll hopefully go full throttle this coming week.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.